All right, let's get right into it. We're tackling a really important question that comes up during a super stressful time. How much does a property appraisal for a divorce actually cost in Cumberland County, New Jersey? We're going to break it all down.
So if this is you, you already know there are 1,000,001 things to deal with. It's a lot. We're going to zero in on one really critical piece of that puzzle today.
You know, for most people, the family home is the single biggest asset they have. And to split it fairly, you absolutely need a professional valuation that will hold up in court.
It seems like a simple question, right? But getting a straight answer can feel impossible. So let's just cut to the chase and clear that up right now.
Okay, here it is. The number you need to have in your head for 2026 is $600. That's the baseline cost for a typical run-of-the-mill single-family home appraisal in Cumberland County.
So yeah, let's anchor ourselves to that number, $600. That is our starting point for everything else we're about to talk about.
Now you're probably wondering, okay, where did you pull that number from? Well, it's not just a guess. Let's look at the source that local appraisers actually use as their guide.
And this is the key. This fee schedule from the Department of Veterans Affairs is a public, trusted benchmark. So even when you're getting a private appraisal for a divorce, many appraisers in the area use this as a common starting point for their pricing. It's a reliable guidepost. Now, check this out. What's so great about this is how clear the breakdown is. You can see right here, the VA sets the fee for a standard single-family home or a condo at exactly $600. A manufactured home? That's a little more, at $650. And if you've got a duplex or something up to a 4-unit property, you're starting at $775. This is the foundation for pretty much any quote you're going to get.
So how does this apply to a divorce? Well, here's where it gets interesting. You've got to know that an appraisal for a divorce case is not the same as the one you get for a mortgage. It has its own set of legal requirements.
To put it simply, this is an official valuation that's built specifically for the eyes of the court and the attorneys. Its whole job is to make sure the property's value is nailed down fairly so that all the assets can be divided up the right way.
And this slide really lays out the key differences. For one, a divorce appraisal might need to value the home based on a past date, like the day of separation, not what it's worth today. It also needs way more written detail to explain things to the legal teams, and the final report has to be formatted perfectly to be accepted by the court.
Okay, so knowing all that, how do we get from that $600 baseline to what you'll actually end up paying? Let's look at the typical price ranges for divorce cases specifically.
This table really connects all the dots. See, for a single-family home, that $600 baseline often stretches into a $600 to $800 range. That extra cushion is to cover the extra legal work and detail we just talked about. And you can see the same pattern for condos, manufactured homes, and bigger properties. The final price is usually a couple $100 more than that VA baseline.
But what if your situation isn't so typical? There are a few major things that can definitely push the cost above that standard range.
This is where you really have to think about your specific property and your own timeline. Do any of these next few things sound familiar?
Think about it. If your home is a one-of-a-kind custom build, or if it sits on a huge piece of land, or has something special like waterfront access, well, the appraiser has just a lot more work to do. They have to dig deeper to find comparable sales. And all that extra time and effort means a higher fee. It's that simple.
You know the saying, time is money? Well, it's absolutely true here. If you've got a court deadline breathing down your neck and you need that report in just a few days, you should expect to pay a rush fee. That can easily add another 20 to 50% to the total cost. So what counts as a rush anyway? Well, those baseline fees we've been talking about, they all assume a standard turnaround time, which is generally about 10 business days. That's 2 full weeks. Anything you need faster than that is probably going to come with that extra charge. Okay, this one is huge. You have to remember this. The appraisal fee you pay gets you the written report. That's it. If things get complicated and you need the appraiser to actually show up in court or for a deposition, that's a whole separate service. Their time as an expert witness is billed separately, almost always at an hourly rate.
Okay, wow, that's a lot of info. So, with all that in mind, how do you actually move forward and hire someone without any nasty surprises? Here's a simple 3-step plan to get it done right.
First things first, get a quote in writing and give them all the details about your property up front. Be specific. Second, and this is crucial, make it crystal clear this appraisal is for a divorce proceeding. Don't let them think it's for a mortgage. And third, just ask them directly, are there any extra fees I should know about for things like court time or a rush job? Being clear up front is your best friend here. So, Let's bring it all back home. Here's the bottom line. If you have a pretty standard, straightforward single-family house, you should really be budgeting somewhere in that $600 to $800 range. That $600 VA fee is a solid, reliable floor for your estimate.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. The biggest thing that's going to affect your final cost comes down to a question you can probably answer right now. Is your property simple and straightforward, or does it have some complexities that are going to mean more work? Your answer to that is the real key to figuring out your budget.